barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free hit the subscribe button. So now that we've gotten past the hype and all that, and we'll start breaking down the fight for real, for real. George Kamboses, Devin Haney. But before we do that, make sure you guys click the link that's on the screen. Checks and balances, man. Type it in your Google. Click in the description box below. I want to say thank you guys in advance. I got the film of the year without a shadow of a doubt. Now let's jump into this. The biggest advantage, and it's a huge advantage too. Devin Haney fights real clean, right? The biggest advantage that George Kamboses have, I believe, he's more weathered than Devin Haney. He has more texture. Like, he has more tactile. He's more tactile than Devin. He has more veracity. He has more grit. Well, you can't really say grit because Devin showed a lot of grit, but he held on as it pertains. Is that grit or intellect or a combination or more intellect than grit? I don't know. You guys tell me, but I thought he did a good job with Linares, but it was just a little bit too obvious. He got to get better at clinching, and so it don't look like. Hopefully he was taught that, but the one huge advantage that I say George Kamboses, I believe, have over Devin Haney is just the like the girthiness. Like, I know that pause. I don't believe in that pause. I'm a man, but like that, the oomph. You know, Devin Haney hasn't had to show that because he's fought so clean. He's been hit twice in his career, and but this fight will tell us if it is. Now, I'm going to use a disclaimer. Devin Haney may possess all of that. No one's ever brought it out of him. But I'm talking about what my physical eyes have seen. I've seen him spar. I've seen him dominate people. I've never seen him really have to mentally and physically move a physical person in the ring because no one has ever impeded that threshold on Devin, So I think that's the one huge advantage that George Kamboses have. He's 28 years old. He's been a road warrior. He's home. Does he still have that ferociousness? I don't know. When he was on the road, he had that will to win, whether it was by 1 inch or whether it was by 1 yard. He had the ability to win, and that is a talent. That is a skill to win tough fights and win wide fights. And let me give you guys an example about the veracity and being able to move earth. I was an elite athlete in high school, right? I could run, jump, I can do whatever I wanted to do, right? And when I got to college, the physicality of the game caught up with me. I weighed 135 pounds my freshman year in college. And it was no chance in hell. I was too small. I was getting bumped off screens. I would run screen and roll. The big guy would bump me. He would push me from 17 feet to 19 feet because I didn't have the strength to turn the corner. He would bump me coming off to show and get back to his man, and I couldn't get around him. So I had to go wider, and I turned the 17-foot play into a 20-foot play because I needed space to be able to, because I'm a short guard too, for vision, and also because I knew if I was bumped, it just wasn't a good proposition, more inclined to turn the ball over. And that's what I'm talking about, So that's what I mean by grit. He had to show grit, in the tough fights with Selby and what's his name? Mickey Bay. Shout out to Mickey Bay. He has a fight coming up real soon, waiting on a rescheduled date. But the reality is, Devin's been a clean fighter, and he hasn't had to show that grit. His dad has done a great job at protecting him. But let me tell you this. Let me really tell you this. I don't look like I have grit at all. 0%. I got major grit. And I liken Devin Haney to me as it pertains to just being a good person, being a good, like, not like we're just a good person, like, oh man, I don't want to sound like elitist, but you know how, like, just like the perception of like a good boy, right? Like a good boy. But I got grit, and I'm fearless. And we're going to find out how fearless Devin Haney is Saturday night. He just haven't had the ability to show it. No one's brought it out of him. So I can't say he doesn't have it. I'm going to correct myself and say I haven't seen it because he's that talented. He's shown the ability to be talented. This fight really can go either way. I have Devin by split decision. I have Kamboses already up by 1.5 rounds. 1.5 rounds, 2 rounds, because Devin's not going to win the close rounds. Devin's not going to be able to jab and get away. Pivot. They're going to give Kamboses the round for ring generalship. And attempting to cut the ring off on you. What is it called? Something aggression, intelligent aggression. So he could win around on that. So, anyways, man, I think that's one huge advantage that Kamboses may have. And he found a way. Devin Haney's never had to find a way. Kamboses, in my eyes, had to find a way twice, and he found it 3 times. And but we'll see, man. Barbershop Conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe. We got to fight, y'all. We got to fight. And don't forget Stevie Fulton's fighting. That's exciting. And I genuinely look forward to going back and forth, y'all, Saturday. So Barbershop Conversation. I'm up late charging Dre's car. You know what I mean? Ain't no way in hell I'll have Dre at the charging station. That's just not masculine. That's just not gritty. So I'm up pretty late, man. It's 12:30. So Barbershop Conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace, guys.